more OP picks going on.
Yeah, just so that they can walk away with the first big box show. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 in this best of 3 in this fated rivalry. It's Mongolia versus Vietnam, the Mongols versus Legion Esports.
I'm definitely going to be worried for Legion Esports at this point because this is all about the early game, right? The moment that Shenlin hits that level 4, and that is when Legion Esports have got absolutely no answer to the Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess, because that is at its peak of grand healing and hybrid defense. You can't make anything up with that Dom Eyes. There's no way you can get a glowing one. That is the best time for Estes.
All right, real quick, a check on the emblems. If you were to play an Estes in the current patch, that is the support emblem, agility, and wilderness blessing, and then focusing mark.
All about speed.
Okay, so I like how it's focusing mark because you're still part of the fight. You're actively helping in your final goal of actually winning a fight. And the Mongols, I'll tell you now, I'll do you one better. Even without the ult, Shenlin is pretty much taking care of his team. Look at this, Mumu, caught by 3 and survives!
Oh, Mumu, he will be tossed right back into the fight, but fortunately for him, he will pop that sprint to get himself out of the mix.
See, even without the ult,
the fight.
Shenlin is affecting and changing the course of fights. How down here in the gold lane, RinXK obviously getting pushed to the limit here by Daylight. You mentioned Daylight was one of the key players for Legion Esports. I love how even in the laning phase, he can dominate. He can own a lane to make sure that the rest of the map can breathe for Legion.
It's kind of like a message to the rest of the members from Legion Esports, like just leave me alone, leave us alone. Let it be a skill matchup between me and of course RinXK, right? As much as possible, leave us alone. Do what you have to when it comes down to the objectives. And speaking of objective, we do have this Spear of Destruction that actually did manage to land on Makey. Oh, Daylight actually joins into the battle while Joga takes the turtle down. Zetsu, Shenlin, both of them taken down by the hands of Joga. This guy is starting off quick. But in the meantime, also another kill, allowing Cram God to push Mumu over the edge, leaving Makey all alone with a sliver in the middle.
All right, so maybe that is one moment where they hope that Shenlin had the ult, and I guess it was just a numbers advantage for Legion Esports. Daylight threaded the needle, found the SOD underneath 2 minutes, 15 seconds, and then pow, joined the fight, and then rotated back all the way down. That did open up a little bit of farming time for RinXK, but Que sera, Legion Esports are now up by 1,000 and change. I think that's worth it.
Yep, completely worth, right? 3 kills for Legion Esports now, and it also pushes back Zetsu's kind of possibility of trying to be very aggressive down the river line. And I think that is exactly what Legion Esports want to do, right? They want to take control of the early stages of the game, as that is the Mongols' main game.
With a Zushin that is not fortified by an Angela, that's what you want to do. You want to own the map, you want to own the game, and you're kind of on a timer, especially with Joga building the War Axe. I would reckon this is the classic build. Meow too going for War Axe first.
Okay.
For going all sustainability, and I think that's a Swift Trinity on the way for Daylight, 1 out of 3 in. Yeah, Legion Esports have a snowball out of control. They're 2,000 gold ahead, Eugene.
At this point in time, I think that they are gonna get even more as time goes by, right? As long as the Mongols try to be aggressive or try to take something, I don't think that it will be that easy for them to reclaim all of the river lines right now, even though Joga gets slowed down the tap a little bit. And surprisingly, Shaka just took that whole hit from Zetsu.
All right, popping the Crimson Beacon here, displacing Zetsu for a bit. Turtle coming up in 5 seconds. Massive rotation from Meow coming down. This is bound to become a 5v5, just waiting to happen. Turtle pulled out, Meow jumping in.
Well, he does have a War Axe, so he's not too afraid of anything, as the stun will be able to land on the Makey. Unfortunately, the flicker from side of Makey allows him to not get away. Unfortunately, still, as Shocker has his own flicker itself. With the crossbow of tank coming in from RinXK, manages to take 1, but he's just going to be darting himself backwards while Zetsu and Mumu put themselves right in the vanguard, hoping that he will be able to push Joga away as much as possible. But Zetsu completely zoned out. He don't have any possibility to get himself close to try to possibly steal the turtle away.
Masterful isolation here by Legion Esports. They sent over Meow, they sent over Shocker to take down Mikey, and it was worth it. Mikey, at this point in the game, is going to be the main source of wonton damage from the Mongols. And by isolating him, taking him away from Shenlin, taking him away from Zetsu, there was nothing the Mongols could do. Legion Esports now pushing the advantage. Shocker coming in. Crimson Beacon. Can Cram God find Shenlin?
Both Cram God as well as Mel has joined into the fray with 4 members from the side of the Mongols, effectively pushing the rest of Legion Esports away. While in the meantime, it does seem Attraction Pulse did not land, but Cram God, he's going to be stuck in there for a tad little bit, while the Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess will patter all 4 members in. The SOD lands over to the back, but he's not going to be jumping in. Meow, though, sacrifices himself just to ensure the safe passageway for Legion Esports.
Fair enough, it was a 4v4. And I think Legion Esports lost their window. They lost their prime initiation timing, and they paid the price. Now the Mongols are clapping back. They're trying to close the gap. The map doesn't clearly belong to them just yet, but at least they got a kill. Meow taken out of commission for just a bit. Looking at the gold lead, it's spread out pretty well. And here's what's surprising. Abstract, look. RinXK is farming much better than Daylight. And here's the thing, Daylight's been fighting. I think that's where we see the difference now.
Yep. I think that this is also one of the reasons why we don't really see a lot of Moscovs join into turtle fights. The first turtle and the second turtle.
But he did.
He did. So that's probably the small little difference that he made that allowed RinXK to take a couple of these pot shots in the lanes and perhaps even on the energy turrets.
Yeah, that's the opportunity cost of being an active part of fighting early on. Daylight knows his team needs him. Now the pressure is on the Mongols. Timing for the last turn of the game.
Oh! Goes down to Meow, unfortunately. But in the meantime, down in the bottom lane, quite a bit of a commotion from the side of Mongols. All 4 members down. Shocker, Joker, and Meow. They will want to look for an opportunity as most of the amount of gold and damage is going to be onto Joker. As long as he finds the opportunity to, they will be able to dominate, as the funnel is more towards the Lancelot at this point. But if the Blessing of Moonlight Goddess is available, that is something that Legion Esports going to have to look out for. As now he's going to be putting himself right in the center. Well, he does have a pretty good stun going on. Cram God, he gets one. Shenlin goes down. That is going to be one of the main healing that they do not have, while Joga picks up a double, bringing the jungler down.
Legion Esports have timed out Shenlin's ult, and that scrambled the Mongols, took him out of their timing, forced him to play out of tempo, and that led to a clean turtle take, led to a push in mid, a handful of kills with nothing on the board for the Mongols. Fair trade, sir. You get nothing. Legion Esports running through the Mongolian coalition here.
Free real estate for Legion Esports. The Mongols will find it difficult for them to take any form of jungle camps for themselves. Given that the middle lane T1 is already down, Legion Esports, they will be right in your face.
And the name of the game for Legion Esports is so far. Oh, hold up. Zetsu gets caught here. Joga right at the tip of that Phantom Execution. I don't know who saw it first. I don't know who was the one who read the rotation, but neither jungler don't want no smoke.
Yep, they don't want anything.
What I'm trying to say is, I think Legion Esports know that, oddly enough, it's not as simple as a take out the cores. Don't just go for Zetsu, RinXK. The key is Mikey. The key is Mikey and Shenlin, and they've been doing so well to isolate them.
And something that's really interesting, the one that Gideon has been looking for, the Bruiser Lancelot.
Ah, this is it.
Yes,
this is it.
The Brute Force Breastplate, the War Axe, and now the Endless Battle.
And then the Queen's Wings on the way after. This is how you fight off against a Estes lineup that you just haven't really put down at the ground as much as you'd like just yet. You want some level of sustainability. You want to keep fighting long term. You can't just do burst. You can't just rely on the burst. You want to make sure your fighting goes the long way, the distance. Who has the anti-shielding and healing right now? Is it Shocker?
I would like to believe the Glowing Wand is available on Shocker.
Is that enough? I think they need more.
They would definitely need more, unless they want Shocker to play an aggressive role with that Crimson Beacon right on top of the Mongols. This way, it affects everyone.
There's only so much you can do as a single Zushin. You can't put it on multiple dudes, especially if they're coming from different angles. Mumu spots it. Lord getting taken. Now Legion Esports blitzing it. Nothing on the board for the Mongols to do. Nothing to contest. RinXK gets caught.
RinXK, one man down, while Legion Esports has managed to take the Lord for themselves. The Mongols now have to play a little bit of a defensive role. But look at the crazy amount of damage coming from Joga, but only he got caught right underneath as Makey immobilized him right underneath the turret's nose. Shenlin still stays alive, but the amount of damage from Daylight, the piercing, is just a little bit too much for them to handle. While now Meow comes into the proxy, pushes the rest of the Mongols away, while Mumu, he wants part of the action. Zetsu re-enters the fight, catches down onto Daylight, and the rest of the Mongols will now pack themselves together together to bring Shocker down next, forcing Meow to run away, and they will be able to deal with this Lord effectively.
Oh my lord, they're not done! Momo gets a triple! A wipeout for the Mongols! And here's the kicker, Abstract, here's the kicker. Not a single hero went over to the Mongols. It was a clean trade.
So clean. To the fact that they dealt with heroes, they dealt with lanes, they dealt with Lord. Nothing was lost from the Mongols.
That's what you call a negative gain, Lord. You didn't even see it push a lane. Tier 2 in mid still standing for the Mongols. I think Legion Esports overshot. They overcommitted, overextended. And I'm not going to say it's over. They still have a small gold lead. But I think we've hit a fever pitch, critical mass, a power spike for the Mongols.
I gotta say, Joga played to his advantage. The fact that he had the goal lead, he had to play as though he does have the goal lead, which he does. But unfortunately, I think that it was one big play from Makey. Just a single immobilize kept Joga down.
And this is why I was looking for that other anti-healing. Because again, when you get split up like that and Shocker isn't exactly in commission to fight, you need someone else to deal it. Now Mumu 2v1!
It does seem like don't have any form of reliable healing against Joga. This guy, finally, okay. So he understood if he wants to be the frontliner, if he wants to be the one to go in first, the advanced party. And Joga picks that up real quick.
Okay, so it's also on Meow. So I'm guessing this is enough. 3 anti-healing items spread across different parts of your formation, your battle line. Legion Esports know what's up. They don't want that last team fight to happen again. They don't want no wipeout. And the Mongols now looking at their build. Definitely a power spike here for Shenlin. Again, weirdly enough, power spike. They like it cornered. Hold up!
He will use the SOD to hopefully get himself away, but with a quick little flicker, he will almost hit because he's still burning! As such, SK takes that kill for Mentata while Shenlin flickers on forward to try to catch them and slow them as much as possible. With Kremgod being the crux of the issue, he will run on the opposite direction, pulling all 4 other members with him, allowing Legion Esports to get themselves safe underneath the T1 turret.
I don't know how Daylight got in that position. Was it just the Mongols properly flanking him? Now Joga's caught out!
He's lost and he's down. This 5-man Ube from the Mongols will keep Legion Esports at bay.
They trampled through him. Like history in memoriam, the Mongols, the horse warriors, they're running through Legion and they score a Lord.
This is the turnaround that we want to see. The Mongols have been behind for quite a bit, to the point that we had 5,000 gold deficit. But by hook or by crook, the Mongols will find the opportunity to turn things around, and with the Lord taken down, they will have a lot advantage, pushing down the T1 turret and moving on forward even more.
That's right, they're way ahead of you. They already have turned things around. They own the map. They have 2 tier 2s. All this while, Legion Esports are on their way to losing all of their outer turrets. Say goodbye to this one in the bottom. Mid should be up next. RNXK just picked up a Malefic gun here, so he should be able to pop off and take to the skies much easier now. Compared to then, Legion Esports have to overextend even more. They have to send me out of the back lines. They have to, I don't know, forward. Oh, wait, Joga!
Joga! He's a bruiser. He's slightly tanky, but he's still gotta really watch out for the amount of damage that the rest of members from the Mongols could bring out. But in the meantime, the top lane T3 will go down with the Lord and Mumu in tow. Legion Esports now have to deal with this Lord that's marching in, escorted by 5 other members of the Mongols.
I think it's mission accomplished already for the Mongols. They take out top lane inhibitor. Up next is going to be in mid.
Oh, Joga! Stunned down to the ground as that's crashed right in with the Boxer Shield Unity. All 4 other members from the side of Legion Esports, they don't have a lot of HP to work with Daylight as well as Shocker wanting to stagger themselves in and out. While Meow, he will at least have that ice crown, and he's going to be fine for now. He goes himself right back into the fountain, while Daylight hoping that he will be able to do enough damage and heal enough from his half claws. But Makey goes on forward when he comes out to the flicker, and he will be aggressive, getting himself a double at the sacrifice of his own life.
Makey overshot. Shenlin couldn't get to him, but there's still one more marksman. RNXK underneath Shocker's lights. Shocker flickers forward.
But it's okay. There's still the Blessing Moonlight Goddess, and RNXK is still back, and he's still in the fight. With 2 inhibitor turrets down, Legion Esports, they are very behind now.
Tranquilo. Legion Esports, all game long, about 14.5 minutes in, they were the ones who were always overextending, overshooting their assaults, their attacks. Now it's the Mongols' turn. They got punished hard. They definitely could have lost much more than all the heroes that they did just now, but Mikey, I think Mikey felt it in him. He flickered forward. He said, we can end this, guys. We can end it. Never mind, back out. We went too far.
So exactly what can Legion Esports do at this point, right? They have lost 2 inhibitors. They need to continue to move on forward, considering the fact that this is tournament live, man.
Catch the Mongols when the formation isn't perfect.
Isn't perfect.
Pick off. At this point, anybody without Shenlin nearby is fair game.
Okay.
That's it. If someone is caught out stragglers like this, like Mumu, if they can find Mumu,
Okay.
then maybe they can. But again, the Mongols
game though.
The Mongols are playing such a tight formation. It's so much easier said than done.
It's too difficult. They, if anything, they need to force something out. They need to force someone to be out of position, I suppose. But Joga is consistently trying to be the front lines of Legion Esports. He wants to be the one to start the fight, and so to give some entertainment. And of course, Vision game as RinSK soar to the skies. He does have quite a bit of damage to bring out, but nothing to get kills. But in the meantime, Joga did manage to take down the Lord, so that's great as he's marching up to the top lane. Shocker having a bit of a problem with RinSK as it goes right into his face. Daylight is going to be the next one onto the chopping block inside of this brush. He goes 1v3. He really want to do something about this, but he's unable to.
He was just buying time, and this may have been a clear plan by Legion Esports, but was it a good plan? I'd reckon no, because they lost so much on the way towards this stolen Lord. 4 members out, just Joga left to defend.
And the Mongols didn't even lose a single person. What is that damage? And Joga goes down to an unstoppable spree of RinSK. The Mongols takes game 1.
A successful debut of the Estes in the wildcard. And Lin, once again introducing a familiar flavor to the MLBB Esports landscape. They take game 1, drawing first blood, now at match point to eliminate Legion Esports.
Let's remember, when it comes down to day 1, it's pretty much the same story, with Legion Esports coming in with game 2 and game 3 comeback.
That's right. In game 1 of the very first day, the very first match, they also introduced the Mongolian Franco, Shenlin, right? Shenlin's Franco. Now it's Shenlin's Estes. Here's the question: does Legion Esports ban the Estes? Because that's the almost instant response, right? Like, it's a little too much, man. They had 0 anti-heal, kit-wise. Items, yes, but kit-wise, not a Baksha, not a.
I can only think of Baksha at this point.
I mean, he's the only
one, right?
Yeah, but it's necessary.
You gotta have to either, I don't know, even banning the Baksha or just opening up the Baksha is kind of that kind of direction. Do they really want to be in first pick, first ban, first pick under the Baksha just to deny the possibility of an Estes on the opposite?
It's a masterful feint. I'll tell you now, Coach Brio leaving Blue 3 open. And then just, we want Baksha first.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, you Angela, we Estes, one way or the other, we take away the anti-venom to our game 1 winning formula. And this was a very quick match. I'll tell you now, under 18 minutes, was it?
Under 16? No. Yeah, I think you might be right. Somewhere around the 18 minutes mark.
As long as it's under 18, then we are calculating below the average of, there it is, 17, right?
17.
Legion Esports, the Mongols, the first time that they played, I'm looking at an average of about 17, 18. 13 minutes, 16 and a half, 20 minutes. That's where we're sitting at. So this being under 17 is quite decisive.
I see. Okay, so they're slowly getting an idea. They got themselves in early and they can close game.
They have more than an idea. They got a devilish plan.
Oh.
Rachel, you see that? He's like, do you like the Estes?
You just doxed my name.
What?
You just doxed my name.
I called you Eternal. What are you saying?
Are you gaslighting me?
That's the stage name, isn't it?
On broadcast?
People know.
Okay, that was a roller coaster ride for me, right? That journey. Earlier on, it was Legion holding their ground, but at some points, it felt like the Mongols finally got to their power spike, and the Legion team was unable to close it as soon.
They had a timer. Legion had a timer.
They had.
I think that Joga was really trying to force something out, considering the fact that he had that lead, and
he
he
knew 4 levels.
He had like 2.2 thousand gold
over Zetsu.
Over Zetsu.
4,000 at some point.
4,000.
4,000 gold lead.
So I don't think it's wrong of Joga to do exactly what he did.
No, Joga was playing with the hand that he was dealt.
Yep. But it just seemed as though we at least have Zetsu that is always on time when it comes down to the Shield Unity. It's just always crashing right on Joga, right on the end of the punctures.
Which is again questionable. Like who that specific moment in the purple side jungle, top lane, blue side. Like, hold up, he jumped onto the tip of the Phantom X. Who planned that? That's an anime moment right there.
There's a lot of anime moments in this wild card, huh?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't there?
Zeta. I think Mumu's play earlier in that first game was also kind of crazy.
Zeta
again.
And let's not forget about Zeta, right?
And Zeta.
There'll be an action later on, folks. I'm excited, but
entertainment.
We live in the now, and we live in a reality where Estes is a must answer. Then I say, like, this isn't cheese. This is real. We've been alluding to Estes for the better part of a week now, and here it finally shows up, and it looks like Legion didn't have the answer past the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, as soon as the main cores were able to get to the power spikes, I think it was a little bit too difficult for Legion to find their opening because they were really banking on the Mongols making a mistake, which is what I saw to be one of the main reasons why the Mongols couldn't find their footing in the early game too, right? We saw a lot of moments where the team fights were a little bit scrappy. It didn't go according to the structure that the Mongols wanted to work with, especially with the kind of Ube strategy that they were working with the Estes. So more so than trying to depend on mistakes coming in from the Mongols, I think Legion needs to find a different play style and mission of their own.
It's not really just all about playing according to their win conditions, right? I think that Joga did whatever that he could, whatever he was dealt with.
If anything, I think he's playing better than he ever was.
I think that this game is at least consistent.
Lancelot's a power pick.
It's just, unfortunate circumstances, right? But I think that there is at least a small little pattern, and that is the fact that the teams are probably starting to figure out a little bit more about Enchanter support.
Yeah.
All of the Enchanter support that we have, Diggy, Angela, and Estes, are all victories.
I mean, Diggy is kind of a far cry though, because I was thinking more.
I lost one.
I was thinking more Florin, right?
She hasn't showed up.
Not
exactly.
Yet.
Which is I'm wondering if those kinds of heroes will actually finally pop up, especially with the Baxia. I think the Baxia synergizes better with the Florin as compared to the Estes in particular situations.
Yeah.
That's why Mr. KB, he was very vocal about it in the back rooms. He was like, I don't like MongolZ draft. I wanted it to be Florin instead of Estes. But Shenlin knows what he's doing. We've been hearing that Shenlin is their main drafter as well.
He's the leader of the Mongols. But here we are now. I think that was also a little tricky move that Coach Buyo pulled off. Like, no blue 3. We'll get the back shot. I think. What did KB say about that? I'm always interested in Prof. Kabe's opinions. Did he see that?
He was just confused.
See?
He was like, huh?
Why?
Is there a mistake? Did something happen on stage?
Has that never happened in ID?
Not very rare.
In the Philippines, it's happened at least twice.
Okay.
That a team decided not to ban just so that the draft would open up. So this is not completely new to me. So I can explain it.
Okay. For us in Singapore, it's more the fact that if they want to open big heroes, OP heroes, they just ban something else.
I agree.
Else.
Okay.
Because I think it took a while for them to get into the drafts again, right?
Yeah.
So
which I can confirm was also something to fix. There was something being tweaked with, but also maybe they just timed out that decision to keep Legion on their toes.
Game.
Yeah, it's like
it's a mental game.
It's not a
So
setup.
can we agree that coming into game number 2, adaptations start in the drafts?
no. I'll tell you now. Adaptations start in the mental. I'm hoping that Legion do not lose their cool, and I hope Legion stick to the plan. I hope Coach Sabo can pick up from where they left off, because if not, then it'll sadly turn into another Team Falcon situation wherein clearly game 2, their final game that they play, they were just everywhere. And I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm hoping that this is more than just calm before the fall, that they actually play well and put themselves in a state of flow and take us to game 3.
Why are you smiling?
No, nothing.
Why are you laughing? What's wrong?
Nothing. But
Something happened?
no, come before the fall, right?
Is that the saying? Calm before the storm. Right.
Yes.
Sorry, I meant calm before the storm. It's like, we know what's going to happen. We know that this is a high-stakes matchup. You have to put your best foot forward. We can't fall for these no blue 3 bans anymore.
No, of course, when you talk about mental, I absolutely agree, right? Because when it comes down to the games coming in from Legion, they have lost, as of now, lost 3 games in a row.
Yes.
Right? Well, in the meantime, for the Mongols,
One way
they
to
won
put it.
3 games in a row.
So momentum.
Momentum. That's definitely something that they gotta play around with.
And they also have to be careful about these, pocket picks. Shenlong came in with the Franco, and now he's coming in with the Estes. What else can he play?
How deep does this hero pool run?
I mean, yeah, can he play all the enchanted supports? I mean, Rafaela, revamped Rafaela. Haven't seen that yet.
It's so odd that she's the last in this discussion, because we're always like, Angela, number 1 for sure. We've seen Estes, Florin. Kabe was like, Florin! Where's Rafaela? That's right.
Completely forgotten.
And this is weird because Bruno is in the meta now. Rafaela Bruno, Rafaela Diggy. This was once the poison that we were playing in the pandemic. Like, you just play any combination of these heroes, like, say goodbye to your towers 5 minutes in.
Oh. It's all about need for speed, right? Especially when it comes down to the heals from Rafaela. That is something that I love the most, right? You get free speed boost almost every, 5 seconds?
Yeah, and if your Bruno dies, pop him back in. Your duty ain't done.
If you have Faramis, that means that Bruno have 3 lives.
All right, take it easy.
And if...
We haven't seen Faramis yet. But yeah, no, imagine that. Just think of the depth of what's possible in the current metagame.
I mean, I don't think it will happen, so I'm imagining it.
That's abstract for you. Since
Imagine,
yesterday.
Hey,
imagine I don't have feet.
If you can't imagine it, then how can it be real?
Manifestation.
And I'm manifesting Cram God's show to come out.
I do want to
I think Legion has found a lot of success with the Cho so far. Because technically the Cho is always banned in second phase. So could they potentially be
First picking
just
it?
prioritizing it in the first phase?
Because that could have been the pickoff. Yeah, you could have taken Shenlin away from his team with a kick and then called it a day. You're right.
Yeah. Having a Franco for themselves might be a little bit.
That
of a far
too, you
cry.
could steal the Franco. But that's a question. Does Cram God have a Franco?
That's a big question.
Actually, yes,
So he does.
he does. I know
Okay.
he does play the Franco.
So we'll see. Will the Franco, will the Cho finally pop up here in this elimination match? We're match point, boys and girls. So with that, Leo, Abstract, take us to game numero dos.
Here we go. In the draft is where it all begins, and I think with Legion Esports going into blue, they're more comfortable here. It's clear that they made a lot of calls throughout the wild card saying, we want to start in blue. Let us draft from here. Coach Sabo banning out the 1-1 and Shenlin's Franco, while the Mongols take out the Kalia. They always just ban out the Kalia.
Kalia hasn't seen the light of day for the longest time.
We miss her. She's solid. There was a time in the metagame, I'd say early June to mid-June, wherein she would always just find herself in the second phase.
Exactly.
That is, you're not giving this little mermaid girl justice. She deserves to be here alongside the Baksha band. So from red now, I can see how the Mongols are playing a little cheeky. They might introduce more enchanters again.
Have Mongols actually been going around with pick-off comps for the past few games?
If you call a Franco lineup.
Aside from Franco, I guess.
Oh. Aside from Franco? No, not really.
Not really,
but
right?
Dang doesn't count. But Dang isn't a pick-off type hero. He's more of a team fighting hero. It's more full-on frontal. But no, you're right. Besides the Franco, are you saying and are you asking if Shenlin has a Cho? Has it come to that?
That's a possibility. I do want to see that happening, considering the fact that he is most notably the key player and it revolves around him. He gotta have to play the part. And if he knows that most of these team fights or most of these initiations come from him, he gotta at least have Cho in his pocket somewhere. The agile little kung fu man goes in and out and be very aggressive right in the opponent's face kind of thing.
Let's see. Cho still at large. Last bans for the first phase would be the Uranus and the Yisun Shin.
Okay.
So that leaves quite a few picks open. A lot of possible lineups and compositions are made possible because of the absence of the Baksha.
Yep.
Legion, this allows for them to first pick.
The Juicin, okay.
I thought Mongols would ban the Jushin. So now, Mongols have to watch out for that. They could go, I wouldn't say, well, they can Fred. Fred's open.
Fred.
Kimmy.
Fred Farsa or Fred Kimmy. Okay,
Kimmy's open.
Zenaida, all right.
Or Kimmy Granger. Oh, no. Kimmy Granger's good, yes. But also Farsa Granger.
Farsa Granger. Kind of like a poke style, or maybe
Yep.
if they want to kind of leave it open, because if I recall, MongolZ did play a Novaria before, right?
But between the Granger and the Iritel, I think RinXK just likes the Iritel more. The Mongols have never played Granger.
MongolZ, wait, really?
Yep.
Huh.
There you go, see?
Okay, Fred. Maybe. So now the ball's back onto the court of Legion. What are the heroes that's currently available that they need for? I think the jungler is something that they might want to leave open. Just kind of grab and snag that XP laner. Perhaps having a Lapu Lapu will always be great. Very consistent,
So
very great lane.
Joy Lance, they can force the Joy Lance again.
Joy Lance, huh?
And Joy Lance in the jungle still allows for you to play the Angela Gambit.
Yeah.
Which is again good now because there's no Baksha.
And Lance did do pretty well in the previous game, to be fair. So it's not a Lance problem.
It's not a Lance problem. I'd say it again. That was one of Joe Guz's best games, best performances.
There we go.
It's just a shame that he lost with it, but now he knows it's less of his execution specifically, but more of a team
thing, right?
A team output problem. And they put Miao on the Lapu Lapu again.
Okay.
This is a good idea. I
Yes.
think they're iterating, and they're trying to just close up because it's safe to say they were winning half of game one.
Exactly. I think they're gonna have to just identify that and just solve one problem after the next. Drafting is one thing. The fact that they won in the early game, but what was really the one that's stopping them in the mid stages? And that is where you can adjust your draft accordingly for the second phase, right? They're now lacking of only the roamer and the gold laner. I think the most important thing gotta have to be the roamer, and MongolZ gotta have to look out for any of those potential big thing. Angela, Enchanter support, Estes kind of thing. Do they have enough of a big bastion in the front for Legions to play the Estes again? Because no more box here.
Yeah, Legion could, but the Mongols no more because they have the Matilda now, which is great. Again, extra mobility for the Fredrin, extra mobility for the Kimmy, and of course the Mongols, Coach Buyo, are still on the case, taking away Cram God's Cho. LG though, Legion Esports, they know that RinXK doesn't like Granger, they ban out the Bruno.
So with no Bruno, the Cho is also out for Cram God. Unfortunately, that the Franco is also out of commission. We don't, at least for Legion Esports, they don't have a lineup that specifically tells us, okay, we're gonna go for team fight. Oh, we're gonna go for split push or whatever it is. It's still very fairly open, but I can't help but get the nagging feeling that right as they ban out that Bruno, that means that they kind of want an Angela for themselves.
Yeah, no, because given every other marksman left, you can still Irithel, you could still
Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, you can still
Granger's
Ranger, that trade is still possible. You can still carry. Those are all still valid Angela targets. You can hard guard any of them and still run through opponents. They do ban the Phoveus.
They have the 2 picks in a row for the second phase as well. So it will be a surprise for MongolZ. They have that one blind pick they're going to have for R4.
I like to think that the Phoveus ban is just another feint. It's like, oh, we banned the Phoveus, we might Arlet roam. Oh, look. Sleight of hand, I don't know. Both these coaches, Coach Buyo and Coach Sabo, I think deception is a huge part of their kit when it comes to drafting. MongolZ, they got red 4 here. One more pick before Legion Esports finishes up their draft. Again, missing gold lane and XP.
Yes.
Side
And that is
laner.
the same for both of them. Yeah, that is exactly the same for both of them.
No.
MongolZ
Legion has no roam.
Oh, Legion is the rope, mind that, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what allows for the Angela or the Rafaela
Okay.
to still show up. There's Iritel. Again, this is a preference for RinXK, for the Mongols as a whole. Now the jig is up. The curtain is pulled back. Eugene, we're going to see if this is indeed an Angela
I
lineup.
really kind of want to see that. This is the nagging feeling right now. Angela and Granger, I would like to see. At least if you put a Granger against the Iritel, it's a skill matchup, 50-50 kind of thing. So I'm still okay with that. 1-1 is currently out of order. That's in fact the first ban of Legion Esports.
It wouldn't even be weird to say Harith Angela.
Really?
They could use a little extra magic damage. There's not much from Zushin.
Okay. But would an Esmeralda be a threat from
again,
MongolZ?
Or again, carry. Oh my god!
Huh?
Another
Ooh.
debut pick in the Clint. It's past high noon. It's an hour past high noon.
It's
here.
high noon somewhere else in the world.
Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But no, following in the footsteps of Virtus.pro, we see here the Minotaur, previously picked by Pluto, now in the hands of Cramgod alongside the Clint, now being played by Daylight. I like that it's burst. I like that this is a burst marksman that could definitely slow down the Mongols and end the game quick. But the Mongols, they got one more pick. They need their XP laner.
So this is interesting, right? The way that Legion Esports play this, very likely we are going to be looking at once again another one of those Bruiser Lancelot.
Yep.
Then you have a hybrid tank, hybrid enchanter from the side of Minotaur. So they kind of want to fill up every single holes, right? And ensure that they have one thing for everything.
Yeah, they're not going for cheese. They're not going for feast and famine. Although it is valid to do so in this current metagame. Instead, they're going for a more holistic approach to team fighting. And the answer by the Mongols to close up the draft, the Esmeralda, taking shields away from the Laptapu, taking shields away from the Zushin, and I think that alone makes it worth
only
it.
these two, yeah.
Not to mention, Mumu played an awesome Esmeralda game 1. He's literally just pressing load game.
Yeah, he's quite a threat.
Let me just keep going.
Triple kill at one point as well.
Yeah,
don't forget.
The issue though is there's no Estes. There's only a Matilda.
At least I would suppose they're at least having the Matilda for themselves.
They're more mobile.
A lot more mobile. Fred is happy. Right?
Less fully sustainable.
Yeah. And even when it comes down to Esmeralda, if he wants to be super committal with the falling star moon, whether it lands, it didn't hit, it immediately call
Pull
back.
out.
Yes.
All right. Game number 2, match point for the Mongols. 1 game win away from moving up to the crossover match here in the wildcards. Legion Esports holding on for dear life. Can we make it to game 3? It's up to them.
The Mongols will start things off at the orange buff. For the meantime, Legion Esports onto the purple. They are going to be ending on the opposite side of the map, with Legion Esports focusing on the EXP, while the Mongols onto the gold. What kind of pathing that they naturally will have? As the other thing that I'm really curious and interested about is going to be the midwave clear. Having the Minotaur as well as the Juicin naturally should have very good clears.
It's a good clear, sustainable clear, but it takes a wee bit longer. Because look, Mikey cleared much faster.
Yeah.
And I guess that's
didn't go in for it.
I guess that's just a range issue, you know? Like, Mikey deals more reliable damage from afar, all the while Shocker needs to put himself at a disadvantage. If y'all are questioning and wondering what kind of emblems you put on Clint, this is an Assassin emblem Clint with Swift and Master Assassin. So he wants to duel. Daylight knows that what they did in game 1 is going to happen here. For about 5 or 6 minutes, it's just you and me, RinXK.
He does have the range, at least in the light of the passive, right? But in the meantime, quick taunt on the Shocker forces the flicker.
Even before the turtle spawns, about 20 seconds from now. Mumu and Mia, let's talk about this duel here. Pre-ult, and then even before big team fights and ganks. Yeah, no, Mumu's going to bully Meow here.
Meow would realistically be able to be a good fighter the moment that he gets himself the War Axe. And I believe that the direction for Legion Esports is also double bruiser from Meow plus Joker. So as long as he gets that, he's just going in the lanes, clear that fast. And you can notice, of course, Cramgod joins in the fray as well.
Fast rotation here by the Mongols, not wasting much time. First to the turtle, they're spacing out Shocker, Cramgod as well. Joe got nowhere to be seen.
Turtle's HP is already down to 1/3, and doesn't seem like things are going to be good for Legion Esports. Zetsu takes the turtle very simple and very easily. Legion Esports didn't even try to contest for that.
Clean take by the Mongols. This does put them up by about 100, 200 gold. And now Zetsu steals away a small camp, so it's adding up. Now Meow put down a third of his health, 4th to regen. Mumu's bullying him. It's the same story up until, yes, you mentioned, up until the War Axe.
The moment that the War Axe comes in, you'll be happy. But I also do want to know Mumu's itemization route, right? Because naturally, you'll probably want to go for the book first. But having the Dom Eyes for this game might actually be a lot more important, considering the fact that you're going up against a Minotaur too.
That, and one might argue a rogue Dreadnought armor. Just like a little armor. Because you're fighting off against a lot of physical. Here comes Joga.
Speaking of which, it is going to be the physical damage. It's just going to be flying around to the side of Mumu. Mumu decides to go a little bit more to the western side, only to meet up with Cram God, allowing the Cram God to actually be the one to get the first blood.
He put up a wall between Shenlin and Mumu. He was literally a bouncer. He blocked the entry to the retreat.
No, big boy. He's a big boy. He's kind of a scary boy as well.
A huge boy.
Man, oh man. Not a way that I thought that Legion Esports will get the first blood, but hey, a win is a win, and a kill is a kill. Legion Esports kind of seems as though they're playing very passively, despite having a Clint in the roster, along with that Lancelot.
Yeah, it's not time. They're fast where it matters. Minoan Fury up top!
Minoan Fury is just going to be putting on to Zetsu, and he's taking a lot and too much pot shots coming in from the turret. Daylight taking the last hit. Shocker joins into the fray, gets himself the second kill of the the third kill of the game for Legion Esports.
I'm shocked they didn't like the way you called them passive. We'll show you passive. It was the Mongols that was actually the proactive party there. But instead, it was the Mongols who got punished. Legion Esports now 3 kills on the board. Nothing for the Mongols. This puts the Vietnamese squad up by 1,000. They're first to the scene. Second turtle spawning upper quarter.
Active movements coming in from Esmeralda, clearing the proxy down to the bottom lane. But in the meantime, the turtle will be taken down by Joga. So 1 for 1 each for now. Meow is currently going to be in the middle of the big fight. He's taking a little bit too much damage from the side of Makey, but Renet's K gets himself that 1 kill. Mumu continues on forward, getting himself daylight, and Shocker takes a quick sprint, but it doesn't seem like he will be able to run away from the grasp of Mumu.
There's a fighting lineup from the Mongols. They actually welcomed Meow, and once they saw that Shocker and Daylight did not have a front line, went straight for it. Cram God was just way too far to help him. I think with Cram God in the vicinity, they would have been able to help, but even just a motivation roar, right? That could have changed the tides of battle for Legion, but here we are now. The Mongols finally fighting back, closing the gap.
Yep, looking good actually. We're looking at about 200 gold differences only. When it comes down to gold laners against one another, is right down the wire. They're completely not going for anyone, but Lancelot, he's happy.
Yep, and then the clapback from the Mongols, a good chunk of their gold lead is coming from Mumu. So expect that Mumu will be making the most of this, because it's the only thing they can do right now, given that Mikey and Renexcare are still building up their farm. I wonder what Mumu's building. Shenlin gets caught out here. This is a very crowded Y-Brush.
Oh! 3-man traction pulse! It forces Shocker to go straight in and out of it. When it comes down to Crimson Beacon, Cram God takes the Vanguard, be in the front line! While Zetsu slams them out of nowhere. A big home run with a 2-man's Appraisal's Wrath.
The Mongols run through them once again, even with Cram God in that Y-Brush. I could have been mistaken. Nothing a motivation roar could do. Mumu, nothing home. He's tried to go ahead and hit that blind Falling Star Moon, but Meow still gets away with it. The Mongols picking up the pace now.
This is a tough game for Legion Esports, right? The fact that there are so many of these AoE that clipped multiple targets, that is massive value. 3-man traction pulses, we don't see that a lot. And especially since they managed to force Shocker into the flicker in the fight before that, Shocker didn't even have any ways to really just realistically get out.
Nope. At point blank range too. Mikey was very close to it. It's just, I think the Mongols, they decided to comms. We're going for the fight now. Turtle going over to the Mongols here because the rest of Legion Esports gets pushed out. Definite power spike here for the team at match point. This is looking dire for Legion.
Joga currently at level 10 as opposed to Zetsu at level 9. But yet, because of the fact that there is just no way that they can get control, Zetsu got a very free turtle out of all of that.
It's a matter of role difference. This is an assassin. You're looking at a core in Joga, while Zetsu's just happy to help. Zetsu's here to finish fights off, taunt members of Legion, and to take objectives. That's all he wants to do. Shocker, at about 7.5 minutes, picks up the glowing wand. What else does he have in his kit? I'm pretty sure he should have more.
No way that that's his first item, right?
Yeah.
Please don't tell me it's the Sky Piercer.
Not first.
The
No
Sky
way.
Piercer is cheap, right?
It is. It's 1,500.
Yeah, so if he's only getting the glowing wand right now, that means that he got something relatively
Where else?
cost effective.
Economy. Oh, he went for Elegant Gem and a fully built Tough Boots, which makes sense. I get it, but this just exacerbates the fact that Legion Esports are down on economy. Save for Joga, maybe a lot of them are starving. Now in comes the rest of the Mongols.
And Zetsu is just going to be the one that's just hoping that he will be able to hold the ground pretty well, while RinXK dealt quite a bit of damage over to the side of Daylight and Shocker.
Mikey!
But Makey, right in the face of Meow, this guy can't tank for nuts anymore because 4-man congregates right over to Meow. He went a little bit too far, but perhaps Legion Esports they realized, okay, without Meow, we gotta fall back a little bit. Taunt onto Joga. He wasn't really quite managed to iframe that, but the Phantom Execution gets him right out of that.
Mind you, that was a 5v4. In the bottom lane, Mumu was working on proxying that wave, cutting it from behind the tier 2 so he can get that chubby wave to take care of the turret. Oh,
Fracture Pulse into the Brazel's Wrath, allowing Mumu to pick up the final hit down on the Cram God. Yet another stagger, which is big, considering that the Lord's coming up soon.
Oh no, the Mongols are pushing it further and further. They're stepping on it, pedal to the metal. They're up now by about 5,000 in gold, more than that. RinXK picking up that Berserker's Fury. Abstract, this is why the Mongols like Iritel and not Granger. You can't do this with Granger. You can't lean hard into fights and take advantage of your innate advantage, economically speaking, positionally speaking, macro-wise, with a Granger. Because with a Granger, you got to take it slow. There is a natural ramp-up to your power spike.
Yep.
But for Iritel, you can just keep forcing fights like this.
Just press a button and big numbers, big plays.
It's the way of the Mongols.
The way of the Mongols. With now getting themselves the Lord that will be marching probably straight down the, it will be straight down the middle. All three of these inhibitors still have their holy defense. It is only 9 minutes in though. Usually first Lord, we just want to take down all the exteriors. But considering the fact that it is all gone, and we're looking at about 7,000 gold lead for the side of the Mongols, it is not a tall order for them to get at least one inhibitor.
Yeah, bare minimum, these holy defenses pop.
Yep.
And that's, what, 2 minutes you lost out on potentially a wave taking care of itself.
Yep.
Legion Esports now have to find a way to punish, and this is the best time to do it, inside their base, when they have a little bit of an extra kick out of these turrets. If the Mongols overstay their welcome, then 1 or 2 dudes are dying for sure. But if it'll cost Legion Esports as well, we're about to find out. Lord crashes into mid. All holy defenses down. Joga picking a fight.
And he's just going to be all the way straight in. The iframe allows him to get away along with a couple of punches, while Meow just going to be right in the bastion. Takes more than half HP down, but he's not going to go down just yet. A good amount of traction pulse from the side of Cram God, but the only thing that Mongols want is just a couple of pokes here and there. Deal enough damage to the turrets.
Good chunk of the Mongols are also put at a third of their health. But again, unfortunately and almost unfairly, the Matilda, Shenlin heals them all up back, topping up their health, and they're still here forcing the issue, assaulting this bottom lane. The siege continues, just about a 10th left in this bottom lane inhibitor, and I get why the Mongols are putting pressure here, Abstract. Is because they want to push it in. Oh no, RinXK!
But the guiding wind pulls RinXK away. Joga looking for the opportunity, and he will able to clip him with the Thorn Rose. With Cram God taking the last hit, but unfortunately Traction Pulse pulls Cram God a little bit backwards, as such he's going to be the tank for Shocker. He's fine though, as the rest of the members from the Legion Esports, all 4 of them, will push the rest of Mongols in various directions.
That is how Legion Esports claps back. Again, underneath their inhibitor, when there's a little bit of extra firepower, a little more kick to make up for the 6,000, 7,000 gold lead, now down to just 5. I'll tell you now, it looks like the Mongols got blinded by ambition. Like they wanted to push that bottom lane so bad that they forgot, oh no, RinXK!
But to be honest though, at least for the Mongols, they guarantee a turret down at the bottom as long as they escort the Lord with that charge. So it's still something, right? But in the meantime, down the bottom, they caught Daylight! Not the best way for Legion Esports, unfortunately. Great traction pulse.
Night, Daylight. I'm not so sure if the Mongols counted his flicker to be out, or they were really just waiting for someone to expose themselves so that they can once again push this inhibitor down bottom. Say goodbye. Mid lane up on the docket as well. Joga's still just trying his darndest.
Oh man. Bottom lane T3 down. The Lord is now made available, and it's almost a guarantee in the middle lane T3 as well, if they are able to bring the Lord in. But I will say that Legion Esports, the best case scenario is to lose 1 turret, because I don't think they can defend against this.
Clean take here. The Mongols score a free Lord, and with the economy they gain, RinXK gets his great Dragon Spear. Oh, you know the Iritel is winning. You know that the Mongols know they're ahead, because they're just picking up an item that is win more. That's an item called win more, because it doesn't give you anything while you're on the back foot, but gives you everything you need when you just want to run through your opponents.
So now the Mongols, let's take a look at their items, right? We've got the Irithel that more or less have got 4 full items built, just 1 more to fully build up. As compared to the Clint with only the Endless Battle, the Sea Halberd, and the Malefic Gun. But hold on a second, looks like they've got a big traction pose! Followed up with Mumu. They managed to catch 2, but killed 1. That's a big one for Shaka. As now the Lord is going to be marching down to the bottom lane, while Meow is hoping they will be able to do something over to the Son of Makias on Ren SK. But Joker finds himself taken down. The Lord is just going to be pummeling down over the Crystal. The Mongols focus on one thing with a 2-0 upset to Legion Esports.
And with that,